So what's Rifts? Well, Rifts is a game setting. It is set in the future of Earth. It takes about 100 years after what we've experienced as the apocalypse. So this genre, this setting, was created in the 1990s by Kevin Sabita, and it was an alternative to your high fantasy genres, which were flooding the market at the time. Everybody was trying to copy Dungeons and Dragons. And so Rifts, what it did is it took the elements of science fiction, fantasy, pulp, action genres, and it created a hybrid game setting. In this setting, you can play anything you can possibly imagine. Everything is possible in the setting of Rifts.
In the Megaverse, every human has what they call potential psionic energy, or PPE. This energy actually doubles when a human dies and is pushed right back into the earth along their mystical pathways called ley lines. The 21st century actually saw a major war between the United States and Mexico. They were just armoring up, creating what they call power armor out there. Some of their most famous one being called Glitter Boys. Well, a platoon of these Glitter Boys decided to go down to Mexico from the United States and destroy everything, leaving 75% of the population absolutely decimated. Well, if you think about it, all this energy, this PPE, doubling and then going right back into the earth, well, the earth had to react somehow. And the consequences were very dire. It actually created rifts that had dimensional beings flooding in from everywhere. Any type of being you can think of, it was there. Dragons, demons, heck, even the bugs from Starship Troopers decided to show up. Plindathu attacks, Buenos Aires, gone.
The only good bug is a dead bug.
So, Earth has been this way for over 100 years now. With all these beings still flooding in and out, the humans, the survivors that were left anyway, all kind of compounded together, got back together, and created what they call the coalition states as a way to try to defend themselves from these invaders.
So for the longest time, there's two major factions. You have the Coalition and the Federation of Magic. The Coalition would concentrate power and see to it that humans came first and foremost in the world, and they would protect its citizens from the dangers that had spilled over from the Megaverse. And they were effective. Some would say too effective. But don't think the Coalition are the good guys here. I mean, sure, from their point of view, they're good. They're fighting the good fight, but too much power in the hands of one individual, Karl Prosek, named himself Emperor of the Coalition States, this gives rise to an oppressive regime, and we know how history works with that. Yeah, they're the Nazis of the future. Well, the Federation of Magic, and they're located in a town called Tolkien, named after J.R.R. Tolkien. And this proves to be a haven for witches, warlocks, and dimensional beings, or DBs, as they're called for short. These are the people who spilled over, your dragons, your goblins, your elves, anything that's not human. So while the Coalition focused on technology, the Federation of Magic focused on magic. And the two forces faced off in a really bloody, dangerous war. Unfortunately, for the use of dark magic and demonic pacts, the Federation fell. Tolkien fell in the Coalition war campaign. Now, this left the Federation sort of scattered and leaderless for a while. One man stepped up, a madman, Lord Alistair Dunstan. He named himself Almighty Ruler and said, "You swear fealty to me, or else I'll shoot you on sight." Well, mages were already declared shoot on sight by the Coalition, so this left all the magic users with two enemies to worry about. Now, while the Coalition and the Federation of Magic are the two largest factions to deal with in the United States, they're not the only ones. You have Jurassic Park in Florida. You have full-on Dusk Before Dawn in Mexico with all the vampires. Out west, it's Old Man Logan. Now, North America is not alone in this crisis, but this is where a majority of the stories take place, and this is going to be our focus.
Originally, Rifts was actually part of the Palladium book system. It was a mixture of using a d20 as well as percentile dice to be able to use your skills and your rolls. While fun, the system is actually a little outdated. It doesn't really work with a lot of your modern gamers. So Savage Worlds actually picked up the library this year and came out with the system for Rifts that is a little more modern, and honestly I like a lot better. It utilizes a lot more dice.
That's right, folks. We will be live streaming our Rifts campaign each and every Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Our group are done.
Let's start with our group.
Our group revolves around a small band of adventurers working against the Coalition and the Federation of Magic as part of the Tomorrow Legion. Be sure to join us each week on Twitch and be a part of the experience.
And don't forget, Foresiders. Pull for initiative? Is that what's happening now?
Yeah,
Why would we pull for initiative?
pull for initiative.
I don't understand this anymore. You know what? Pull for initiative, some bullshit. Sunday, 6:30. Be there. Or just do whatever you want. But Riffs, you should do it.
You said butt riffs.